I wouldn't do anything beautiful or transcendent.
Techno legends with a punk legend. This should have gone horribly, horribly wrong, but I'll be honest, there was a part of me that expected this to go horribly, horribly right, and my word, it's quite good. Iggy Pop, somehow still being alive, joins the infamous Techno duo, who are most known for making that song from Trainspotting, but more importantly, they did Pearl's Girl, which is like one of the best musical tracks ever made. And their collaboration is an adventurous rollout of spoken word synth punk madness. I wanted to compare it to LULU because just like LULU, this EP is pretty good, but that won't really go down well with the rest of the crowd, will it? Bells and circles may begin sounding like the background music for one of those anti-piracy warnings that play on DVD, followed by Iggy Pop's callback to times when he was allowed to smoke cigars on the airplane and chat up the air hostesses and not worry about good behavior and ethics when he acted, which honestly sounds like the most boomer thing ever. But if you stick with the track, it becomes pretty clear that the song isn't just going on some anti-PC spiel, or even has a proper direct message to deliver. Iggy Pop's poem here is more like a reminiscence upon fond memories in his most active years, and combined with the turbulent and increasingly tense instrumental, it just sounds like the entire world is starting to fall out of order with itself more and more. It feels like it's constantly moving towards a big moment with that repeated mantra. Lyrically, this thing is as uncertain of its own message as I am trying to decode it. Despite the collaboration being fronted by two icons known for progressing and representing their genres, this EP seems to be standing in stasis on purpose, which is a nice kind of conflict. It's symbolic and all that. Write your English essays on that. The entire song seems to be about uncertainty, especially when it comes to thinking that you're as cool as you used to be, and I couldn't imagine a better person to ponder upon that than the guy who released the song Kick It with Peaches 15 years ago. Trapped follows up on this sense of being confined and uncertain with a really anxious but infectious synth loop that has the hypnotic eeriness of an Alan Vega song, though it ends up having the lyrical subtlety of Logic. But I think the difference here is that the constant tapping reminder that our narrator is indeed trapped actually works in favour of the song, and it all becomes worth it in the end as Iggy starts yelling that he's trapped as if you hadn't realised it before, while Underworld bring in more lavish and daunting orchestration to make all of this madness sound cinematic, like a modern Bond film, but more nihilistic and also exciting. Unfortunately, the EP seems to take a pretty big dip in energy for track 3. I'll See Big sounds like an ambient piece from an indie puzzle game with Iggy Pop as the narrator, and while it has the potential to sound inspiring and moving, even out of context with the other tracks, it just fails to give Iggy's narration any sort of emotive lift, and instead makes it sound like a lecture recording from my philosophy class. I'm just kidding, Andrew, I love your lectures. Get Your Shirt picks the pace up again with a little bit more for raving synth punk jam that sounds more in line with Iggy Pop but with less of the intensity of the first two tracks, and more like a schlocky Eurovision performance, as Mr. Pop brings it with lines like, "Don't try hard to be a flirt, get your shirt, get your shirt, nobody loves a jerk, get your shirt, which actually sounds more like a slogan from a flea market salesman than it does a punk tagline. Well, he's a wild one, I guess. To be honest, overall I like this collaboration. It works so much better than it really should, and while its second half trips over on a pothole denting the road of fulfilled potential, it's still a worthwhile ride nonetheless, just to see what it's like, you know? I think it's a strong 6 out of 10, but I'm always looking forward to what Underworld are doing next, and especially what other reflective adventures Iggy Pop is getting into during this extra late phase of his iconic career. I'm certain none of it will falter. I mean, it can't, right? He's just too good.